So a couple things, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, we have today's Wednesday, the 21st. So what we were originally going to cover per the syllabus, and we'll take a look at the syllabus right now as well. So we'll just kind of cover all our bases. So I'm going to put the syllabus up just so we can talk about the changes, a couple modifications. All right, again, he was like a little crazy, so I apologize. All right, so you should, hopefully you can see the syllabus here. This is CRC syllabus, or yeah, CRC syllabus. They're the same, CRC and SCC, or SCC, yeah. So if you're here with us from SCC, then it's all the same. They just look a little different. So we're just scrolling down. Sorry if it's hurting your eyes with the scroll. So just to give you an idea of where we're at, we just wrapped up our individual informative speeches, right? And we are jumping into our group dynamic speech coming up. We also have that outside speaker report number 2 that's due, and that's due this weekend. And I want to make sure you have that. Also, our discussion number 8 has been posted as well. So we have a couple of things. So with the group dynamic speech, there are 3 parts to it, just like there were with our informative speech, right? So our the first part, of course, is the outline, and the outline is something you should start to prepare, start to think about. But you also probably want to know, like, what am I doing in my group dynamic speech? So we'll talk about that. Once you get your outline organized and situated, you're going to start to figure out where you're going to get your sources, where you're going to find the sources of information that are going to inform your speech, give you the ethos that you need. And that will be your 2 pieces of evidence, your evidence check. Evidence check will happen just like it did with the informative speech. It will be in the discussion tab in Canvas. You'll go in, you'll put your 2 pieces of evidence. You can arrange it with your partner or your group to where you guys individually establish pieces of evidence. You could have more than 2 pieces of evidence, of course, but all you need minimum is 2 pieces of evidence. You'll put that in discussion. You'll continue building your outline, making sure that, you know, it's to the level that it needs to be for you to have you to be able to deliver an effective speech with another individual or with a group of individuals. We'll talk about all that in a second, okay? Then you have the actual group dynamic speech, right? The presentation. How you'll deliver that, we'll talk about momentarily as well, because you're probably trying to figure out like how it's going to work. And it's not as difficult and as wild as you probably imagine in your mind, right? So following the group dynamic speech, though, we'll have the persuasive speech, of course. We'll have the special occasion speech, and then we have the final speech. There will be a change to the final speech delivery method. I have to modify the final speech delivery method, okay? So just FYI, the final speech, which will not happen until December 11th, I think 11th through the 14th, and I'm going to expand that window as well. It will have to be delivered live. I'm not going to take videos of the final exam. You will not be able to self-record and self-submit at your leisure. You can definitely self-record and you can play it at a designated time through a live, meaning you'll connect with either the group or with me individually through Zoom, Instagram, Facebook Live. We can do Skype. We can do any type of video application, and you can play the video that you pre-recorded. But the reason why I'm not going to take any pre-recorded and self-submitted speeches during the final is if there's been some issues with some people's videos where they're locked or the quality's not there or the file's corrupted or something. I don't want that to happen for your final and then I can't get a hold of you, right? Or I have to get grades in and we don't have time for you to create, and then you just fail the final. I don't want that to happen. So for the final exam, and I'm going to update this in all of our areas online and elsewhere through Canvas, you will have to sign up for a delivery time frame. You will have to sign up. I'm going to give a good week, a good 7 days of different availability slots for the exam. So everyone across all the classes will be able to sign up for their live delivery. And again, you can still record your speech. You'll just have to play it at that time that you're going to be signing on for your live presentation. All right, that's basically what we're going to do with that. So that's just FYI for the final. But for all the subsequent speeches in between then and now, the group dynamic, persuasive, special occasion, they can all still be recorded and submitted. Hopefully we won't continue to have issues with that. All right, so jumping back to the group dynamic speech and some other things, we're going to just jump to our calendar, and then we'll talk about the group dynamic speech after that. We are currently at 10:20 here. So what we were going to talk about today is chapter 16, which is the persuasive speech. I'm going to switch that in our next meeting, which will be on Monday, the 26th. We're going to be reviewing chapter 18. So we're just jumping chapter 16 for a moment because it's more important, more present for us to talk about group presentations, which is chapter 18. Talk about group presentations before we talk about persuasive speaking. We have our group presentations coming up next. We have persuasive speaking coming after that. Tongue twister. All right. So we're going to talk about chapter 18 on Monday. And then we're going to do our group dynamic overview on Monday as well. So we'll talk about all that on Monday. You still have a couple of weeks from this point to knock out the preparation for the speech. Wednesday, we'll talk about chapter 16, which will be persuasive speaking. So we're just basically going to group this group dynamic overview into Monday because it just works with talking about group presentations, what chapter 8 is focused on. And then Wednesday, we'll do chapter 16. I'll put that in a message to everyone as well, and I'll put it on the announcement, don't worry. And then you have a little bit of time. You got a week from that point to where we're going to start with the deliveries of the group dynamic speech, and then that's not due until that that Sunday, okay? The Sunday, which is November 8th, I believe. You have a couple of weeks from this point, so I'll say about a week and a half from this point now. So with that being said, there's a presidential debate coming up on Thursday, tomorrow. Neither here nor there for the outside speaker report, but that's on the syllabus as well. Just FYI, that's there. All right. So before we talk about this group dynamic in more detail, outside speaker report is due by Sunday, the 23rd. You do not have to talk about politics on the group dynamic. I'm sorry, on the outside speaker report, number 2. You do not have to talk about politics at all. I am suspending that criteria, right? You're going to focus on finding a speaker, YouTube, TED Talk, some other website, maybe an in-person event if you're able to find something in person. Similar criteria that you had for the first outside speaker report. I talked about this on Monday with the grading criteria is, of course, out of 25 points. You are going to be graded on your formatting and your heading, of course. You're going to be graded on your works cited, making sure you have your references there. You're going to be graded on those 5 questions, right? And then you're going to, the other 10 points are going to be the quality of your paper, right? I should have feedback for everyone on their outside speaker report by the end of day tomorrow, by the end of Thursday. So by Friday morning, in essence, you should have feedback on your outside speaker report, and you should be able to apply that to your finished product, which you'll submit by Sunday. So technically you have 2 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like 3 days to either start to write your outside speaker report or to modify it. If you want to knock it out ahead of time, which maybe some of you have already done this, you'll still have a couple of days to apply any constructive feedback that I provide for you to your new paper, okay? It's grading everything online has been crazy, right? I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been crazy, especially with these speeches and some of them not working and all this stuff. So I'm trying to get the grading out to you so you get enough time to be able to utilize it for the next thing. But yeah, it's just, I'm working on that. It's getting there, but you should have feedback for your outside speaker report, number 1, to apply to the outside speaker report, number 2, for delivery, which is due by Sunday. Okay. All right. That's the outside speaker report. Any questions about outside speaker report before we move on?
I have a question.
Yes.
So for the outside speaker report, we have to have like what we're talking about, like put that in by Friday, or?
The outside speaker report has to be, so there's nothing due by Friday. On here, it just says due by Sunday. It's a reminder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just because if I'm looking at the syllabus, I wrote the syllabus and I basically as if I were a student and what would I, so obviously I the colors and stuff, I know I've already gotten complaints like it's too much going on. But if I look at it, I want to, each day I look at and I read, I want to say, okay, what do I need to focus on? I have a Zoom meeting on Wednesday. We're going to talk about that. Then this is what I should be doing for the homework, reading those chapters, planning the outside speaker report. So on Friday, if I'm looking at it, I want to have a reminder that something's due by Sunday. That's why I wrote it like that. So hopefully it's too confusing, but that's the idea. So yeah, you don't have to do anything ahead of time for the outside speaker report. You don't have to do like an evidence check. You don't have to do a rough draft. You have to do an outline. The actual outside speaker report paper is due Sunday by 11:59.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Sorry, excuse me if I missed this. For the outside speaker report too, do we still have to do it on the presidential debate or like any of them?
Yeah. No, you missed that. No, you do not. You know what? I thought it was a good idea because we're in this current this term and this climate and everything. It's too much. It's too much. I know it's caused anxiety for a lot of people. It's brought up a lot of just funky emotions and feelings, especially riding on the coattails of our current pandemic and in a lot of the socioeconomic conditions for a lot of families and students. You know, it's just a lot. And the first presidential debate was a lot. It was a lot. And I know that can potentially be triggering for some people with other things going on in their worlds. It's important. I definitely think everyone should tune in just to understand where we are within our political landscape. But I'm not going to force you to write a paper on it. You know,
so like any topic like the last one is fine then, right?
Yes. So you can find something somebody talking about finding your happiness in your life. I don't know, whatever you want. But yeah, find another live speaker. And I say live, meaning when they presented it, it was live. YouTube, TED Talk are the #1 websites that students are going to find stuff. But there's a ton of other, you go to PBS, you go to historychannel.com, there's a ton of places where you can go and find videos of people giving presentations and speeches. Do that. You can also use someone who is actually presenting live. Again, my only criteria with that is it cannot be another class that you are a part of. Meaning you can't just do your outside speaker report on your sociology 302 class or whatever that you're going to have after this class or something, because it's just too easy. It's too cheating or something. So I just want to make sure it's not another professor for Los Rios, not another class that's on your class layout thing that you have for your classes. It can be another professor at another institution talking about something that you are not a part of as far as being a student. You know, a lot of professors do speaks, conversation after talks and all that. So you can do that. Just not another Los Rios professor, not another class that you have to take for this term. So again, outside speaker reports due Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Does not have to be about politics. Adhere to the criteria. Really quickly, let's just take a look at the criteria really quickly. It'll be quick. I know I don't want to beat a dead horse, so to speak. Sorry for my PETA people out there. I didn't mean it like that. But let's take a look really quickly. I'm going to go to I'm going to use the SEC page. I want to be inclusive. So I'm going to just go to Canvas really quickly, just so you can kind of see what I'm looking at here. So this is SEC, but again, it's pretty much the same for the most part. So what I have in the announcement is we have the Exam 4 study guide for chapters 14, 16, 17, 18. Only thing that's there, and the reason why I'm going to SEC specifically is because they normally aren't, they're asynchronous, so they might not be tuning into our Zooms, which is fine. But the YouTube is there for chapter 14, which talks about speaking to a global audience. You may need that criteria. You may need that information for your outside speaker report. You may need it for your group dynamic presentation. But the YouTube is there for Monday's presentation, and it's on both pages, SEC and CRC. So if you go into the study guide, you have the YouTube there. All right. The other reason why I'm going here is to look at the outside speaker report, just to look at the criteria really quickly. All right. Again, both pages should look the same, so you should be able to find this information here. It still says presidential debate. I changed it. I can't remember which one I changed it on. Maybe I changed it on CRC's page. That might be it. I try to, like, when I do something on one page, I try to do it on the other page too. Sometimes it's hard to keep up. I'll be honest and say that. But let's look at the, there we go. So yeah, I changed it on CRC's page. So on CRC's page, the outside speaker report, it specifies here what you need. So if you did outside speaker report 1 and it's like trash or something, I don't mean it disrespectfully, I mean that truthfully, then revisit what the criteria is for the outside speaker report, okay? If you didn't do it for whatever reason, you just now entertaining the project, what you need is there, right? It's a written assignment. It should span 1 to 2 pages in terms of written content, what you're writing about with your analysis, your feedback, or your analysis and your observation overview. You also need a title page, a cover page, title page. You need a works cited page. So worst case scenario is going to be 3 pages, right? That means you have a cover page, works cited page. You have 1 page of written content. You should have 1 to 2 pages of written content. So best case scenario, you're going to have cover sheet, works cited, and 2 pages of written content. You can go longer. Don't give me a 15-page outside speaker report, though. I don't want that, okay? I'll read it, but I don't want that, all right? You are doing observation, analysis, and critique. These are our 5 questions right here. Remember, out of 25 points, you're being graded on your heading and formatting. That's 5 points. Your works cited, and part of that heading and formatting is also your cover page, because your cover page should be where your heading is initially, right? Heading, formatting, cover page, that's 5 points. Your works cited page, that's 5 points. Answering these 5 questions right here. What was the central idea? Was it well organized? Visual aids, delivery style, was it effective presentation? That's 5 points. That's 15 points right there. The other 10 points are going to be on the actual full structure of the paper, right? Is it written well, your paragraph, grammar, and all of that. Worst case scenario, if you don't, like, if you really still need help with your academic writing, then we all still need help with the academic writing. I'm not pointing anybody out specifically. I need help with my academic writing on occasion, right? I got like mad degrees. All right, is academic college writing guide here? Remember, go here and look at this. Look in here to find out what MLA and APA styles look like. Expo papers, that can help you. Research papers, that can help you. Active versus passive voice, punctuation, words to watch. There's a ton of like other grammar sources, citations here with MLA. We even have like videos you can watch, APA. So all that's there for you. If you didn't know, just click on the link. I got mad information for you. All right, and this again is on CRC and SCC's page. It's like the very first announcement. All right. So it's there for you. All right, so that is the outside speaker report. You have discussion 8 that's up right now. All right, I did not write an example for, I know the examples help a lot of students out. So I saw really great feedback for the discussion 7, listening versus hearing. So I did not write an example of how to write discussion number 8. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You do need to have an understanding of chapter 14, speaking to a global audience. If you have not watched that on Monday, then go back to the YouTube and check it out so you can understand global perspectives, 4 initiatives, universal language, how stereotypes and prejudice play into global audiences, addressing global audiences, all that. But what I'm asking are, what are key parallels between the global perspective and universal language in generating effective communication with any audience? What's important to consider, what's not important, so on and so forth. All right, very straightforward. This is going to be up until the 26th, all right, which is next, like, Monday or Tuesday. All right, elephant in the room. Let's talk about it. Group dynamic presentation. You have to have a partner, ladies and gentlemen. You have to do your speech with at least one other person. That means that you have to make friends if you have not already done so. One way you can do this is you can go to, and I'm actually going to switch to student view so I'm not exposing any information. Let me see. Oops. Sorry. So let's go to student view. So if I go to student view here, my computer's slow, so it'll take a little bit of time. Okay. Student view, you know student view when it's purple. All right, so I'm in student view. This is what you see. I don't know what this U is right here. It's weird. Hopefully you can see that. You can go to people. Go to people, and it shows everyone in the class, right? Their designation, student. For SCC, you may see like the dean, because I had to add them for evaluation purposes. Don't reach out to the dean. They're not going to help you with the project, right? But you can click on the person. Yeah, everyone's name. So this is what everyone sees. So I'm not showing anything special, right? So let's see who's here. Let's see. Ashley. Ashley's here. Ashley's in the Zoom. So Ashley, I'm going to use you as an example, okay? If I click on Ashley, it may give me her. I think it gives me her. It doesn't have contact information. If you have contact information, then it'll be here. If they don't, so you click on a link and say, "Oh, hey, I want to reach out to Ashley, and I want to see if Ashley wants to be my partner." If they have contact information here, cool, use it. If it's not in there, and a lot of people haven't added, Jason, is Jason here? I don't know if Jason's in on Zoom. All right. Jason has a cool bio. He doesn't have any contact information, which is cool. It's a good picture, Jason, as well. All right, but you can click on and you can check people out. Well, I know we need to do that sometimes to see if we want to connect with people. Go ahead and do that, right? That's what Canvas is here for, it's building community. So you get to kind of check people out and say, oh yeah, they like a cool person I might want to like work with for this project. Maybe not. All right, another way you can go about it is, and I'm not going to do this because I don't think there's a student version of it, is go to your inbox. I have an inbox here. If I go to my inbox, it'll show obviously all the messages I receive. But you can go to the inbox and you can search and you can look for people in the class, right? And you can just send a message to someone in the class and say, hey, my name's John. Hey, we need a project for this group dynamic presentation. We want to work together, right? And then you can just ask people like that. Hey, I know it can be a little overwhelming sometimes. It can be a little daunting. And then, a lot of times we have pride, right? We just don't want to have to reach out to people to ask for their support or help or whatever. In the world, you're going to have to rely on people to be successful, right? You're going to have to work collaboratively with individuals. You're going to work in a group setting at some point in your professional careers. More than likely, I would say there's a good chance, like 90% of the type of work that you could potentially do will involve working with one other individual at some point in time. So it's important just to get familiar with the concept and just get into it, right? So you go to your inbox. If I go to chat as a student, let me see if it gives me, I haven't used chat as a student. I don't know what options it gives me here. So I don't know exactly how this works. I think because I'm a student, I'm a test student, I don't have other connections. You may, if you go to chat, and I opened that option up for everyone on Canvas. So go to chat, check it out, see if it has other people there. And then you should be able to leave messages. All right, so I send this to the test student. Hi, want to be my partner? Right? I don't know, maybe that's creepy, maybe it's not. But it's another way you can reach out to people through the chat in Canvas, right? Hey, hey, look at that. Look, I just like something. So I think we can all chat right now, right? Cool, I appreciate that. Thank you for thank you for working with my example here. So it looks like it's a live chat that anyone in the class can connect to. So if you go to chat in Canvas right now, if you're in CRC's Canvas page, then you should be able to maybe be a part of our live chat. It looks like a bunch of people are joining on right now. So, hey, it's kind of like like whatever, Instagram live or something. I don't know if that's how that works, but oh, I like pizza. Yeah. Okay. So I'm the test student. I'm sorry. I was like, how does that work? Who's the test student? So I send this and it goes to everyone and you can see it on your chat. So that's cool. So, hey, I say that all to say that I want to break the ice and make this comfortable with finding someone, okay? Do not miss out on 100 points for the presentation and 25 points, 125 points, right? And actually, there's 20 extra points for the evidence check. Don't miss out on 145 points because you don't want to reach out and say hi to someone, right? This isn't group discussion. I know that's COMM 331. I teach that as well, right? But it is important for us to be comfortable, get comfortable and be familiar with the process of how to build a presentation with at least one other person. Now, let's go to the criteria really quick, and then I won't keep you guys too much longer today, so you can hopefully use today to find partners. But if you jump back to assignments, and you go to your group dynamic, there's not a whole lot of information here. I don't know. Let me double check. Maybe I should go to modules. Group dynamic. Okay. So this piece. Okay. All right. You can have a duo of 2 individuals, or you can have up to 5 individuals, meaning 4 others besides yourself in one group. You can do a presentation with 5 people. Knock it out. Hey, if you want to just powwow with a group of homies and say, hey, let's knock this out together. Let's do this presentation with all 5 of us. Do it. Right? I'm giving you permission right here. All right. Your speech topic should revolve around informing or persuading your audience on a specific focus, right? So you can't use a persuasive focus for this group dynamic because the persuasive speech is coming up. And we will have talked about chapter 16. Again, we'll do that next Wednesday. So it'll be before this group dynamic speech happens. So if you don't fully understand persuasive speaking, we will talk about that ever so briefly next Wednesday. But Monday, don't forget, we're going to talk about chapter 18, which is group presentations. And then we'll also look at an overview of this. I do have a video for you. I was going to put it up last week. I decided not to because you had exam number 3. You had, I don't know what else, the outside speaker report. I didn't want to overwhelm you with a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to put the video up for the group dynamic. Basically, it's me talking about it as I'm doing right now, but I'm actually going to do a presentation, a group dynamic presentation with a colleague of mine. And we're going to do 2 versions. We're going to do it in the same space, where we're sitting in the same space and just talking to you. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. And then I have another version where we are in 2 different, I'm in my car and they're in their car or something. And I'm going to splice the videos together basically through using iMovie or something. And you'll see if you have to be in 2 different places, how you can put the videos together. You can also do that through Zoom. You can do that doing if you do a screen record on a smartphone while you're on a FaceTime call, because you have your screen and you have the smaller screen of the other person, you can use that as well to do the presentation. So you can screen record a 5 to 7 minute phone conversation where you deliver your speech. So there's a million ways you can do this, okay? So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed about how you're going to do it. But of course, I'll offer the live time slots as well. So you'll be able to sign up on Zoom and you can both check in at your designated time, and then you can deliver it through Zoom, which is, I think, the easiest way to do it. I'll be live, you'll be live, you'll knock it out, you'll be done with it, right? But again, if you have to record it, there are a million opportunities, a million possibilities, all right? FaceTime call, recording your screen. You can do live. I don't think live will work on the social media because you only see one person, but you can splice videos together using other video editing software. iMovie is super easy. I use it as well. So you can also use, what's it called? I use it all the time. Is it iMovie? Whatever the editing thing that comes on Apple. Is it iMovie? Yeah, I guess on your phone as well. I can put 2 videos together. I do it all the time. I make like little rap videos and stuff for cartoons. And but I splice videos together. I screen record from YouTube. I bring it into my iMovie, and I put multiple little things there. I even sync up the voices to the matching the raps, and just have fun with that. So it's super easy. I know everyone isn't inclined with video editing and media and stuff like that. So if you're having trouble with it, email me and say, hey, I don't know how I'm gonna do this thing. Live might be the way for you, right? But the elephant in the room is going to be you picking your partner. Make sure you do the legwork and connect with someone in the class, okay? In our CRC group, we have, I want to say we have like 34 individuals in CRC. SCC, you have like 24 or something like that. So it's a lot easier to grade my Sac City class, like 10 less people. But I was really unsure about this. If you have a friend in the other class or you know someone, you can join a group or have a partner across the two classes. Okay, I'm going to allow that. I'll put that in the language here. I don't know if anyone will take me up on that offer, but I do want to extend it just because we're doing these classes simultaneously. One's asynchronous, one's synchronous. I'm usually relating to both of you when I'm writing emails and messages, and I'm updating pages at the same time. So it just makes sense if we just can, and I invite you both to the Zooms. So I just want to extend this and say, hey, if you want to work with someone in the SCC class or the CRC class, depending on where you are, you're welcome to do that for this project and this project alone as well, okay? Okay, so that is that. Group dynamic speech requires you to work with another individual. It is due November 8th, so it's about 2.5 weeks, something like that. Yeah, 2.5 weeks, I think. I'm going to put a video up by tomorrow, or maybe tonight. I might put it up tonight, but it'll definitely be up tomorrow. And that'll be an actual example, group dynamic example. I'll put it on YouTube, so you'll have the link, and I'll put it in the announcement. I'll put it in the actual assignment, so you can see it as an example. Okay. Any questions about the group dynamic speech after that spiel? No questions? No questions at all? I must have done a great job of explaining. Pat myself on the back for that one. All right, well, if no questions, ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you get to it, picking out your partners. Am I frozen? I think it might be frozen. That's no fun. Well, if I'm frozen, I apologize. If I'm not frozen, use this opportunity to pick out your partners or your groups, research your topics. You can do anything informative, anything persuasive, right? Full gambit, as long as it's appropriate and ethical. Consider your audience, right? But when you see my video, then I'm going to do my the group presentation that I'm going to put the video up. But it has to do. I'm doing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, and my colleague is doing X-Men or something like that. We're talking about cartoons that we watched as youth, right? And so basically, we just both kind of chime in and talk about our specific cartoon group. I'm talking about the Ninja Turtles. She's talking about X-Men. We talk about it for like 5 minutes. We go through introduction, body, conclusion. We introduce our supporting facts, our statistics. We have a visual aid, and my visual aid is like t-shirt. I have a t-shirt. She has a t-shirt, I think. Yeah, so you'll see. But it's pretty straightforward. It's just you have to work with another person. That can make it more complicated. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email. Let me know how you're feeling about this group dynamic speech, or prepping for it, the outside speaker report, which is due Sunday, the discussion number 8, which is due next Monday or Tuesday, I think next Monday. And then again, next Monday, we'll talk about chapter 18, and then we'll do this kind of follow-up overview, and hopefully everyone will have a partner by then. Wednesday, we'll talk about chapter 16, persuasive speaking, and get back on track.